Hello. It's been a while. Been, I don't know, busy slash chew up myself to feel like I had a reason to vlog about anything, uh, which I guess happens to a lot of people, I'm told. Been getting my first set of hater comments. I think I talked about that in the last one. And I just think it's so funny because this hater, I think, is a woman and from Canada. I didn't know that they had these female misogynists in Canada. I feel really bad for them. They must just feel like they have no other options than to tell women where their place is. That's unfortunate. Yeah, she told me that I have to, um, you know, just start a family before I get too old instead of trying to find a job because nobody wants to die alone. And I said, who says I'm going to die alone? I'm in a relationship. And she said, Zoe, cats don't count. So I'm starting to think that maybe it's not a woman, maybe it's a man pretending to be a woman. I'm not really sure, but either way, that's pretty shitty. It's funny that, the energy given to leave a hateful comment must be so strong because people don't leave nice ones very often. Um, but yeah, I feel really bad for you. Cheers to you and your sad life. Uh, my life is around the same. Got some more copywriting gigs. That's great. That's not gonna pay all my bills, but it's definitely a start. And more post work drama. I found out some more people got fired for actually breaking rules this time, which is great. But what about the people who didn't really break rules? They're not there. I'm not back. So hmm, is what it is, I guess. But I do miss my fun coworkers a lot. What else have I been doing? I went to a recruiting agency for talent, and they're going to try to place me with some sort of freelance copy gigs or something like that, which would be great. And I'm just pouring myself into auditioning again, see what happens with that, if anything. I'm doing a lot of open mics, mostly in my area. I need to start venturing out and doing a bunch, like on a certain night, just going to every single one in a certain area. Um, and I'm going to be performing at the Comedy Store on the 16th, opening for John Campanelli. So that should be fun to be a girl on what I assume is a boy's bill. Um, and I hope I can get enough people to come see me at it because I don't know if all of you out there in YouTube land know how comedy works when you're starting out. You need people to come see you, or they cut your set, or they cut your time, and you know, triple your embarrassment. If that makes any sense. Um, that's one of the reasons I really love the group of women that I started doing comedy with. It's her name's Lisa Sunstead. Her company is called Pretty Funny Women, and it's really cool and empowering. And it's classes and after classes, if you're really wanting to continue trying stand up, Lisa will, and you're good. Lisa will put you on one of her bills, and it is a bringer show, but it's all the girls get billing and get to be seen up there, and it's a really fun room. So I feel really lucky that I sort of got brought into the comedy world by them. But it's time to, break out of my little protective barrier and start trying to make the boys laugh. But I think my tactic with that is going to be don't care about making them laugh. Just caring about making yourself laugh. Um, I think if I stick to that, I'll stay true to myself, and maybe some guys will like it, some guys won't. I'm prepared for all the outcomes. Um, as I said before, these are sort of my morning pages. Way to sort of get it off my chest of what I have to do today, what happened yesterday, thoughts, hopes, feelings. Um, really upset about what happened in Pittsburgh, obviously. Just being a person, not even just a Jew. I can't imagine that hearing news like that, that, my elderly parents or grandparents were murdered in a hate attack. Um, to people that I know, like my mother, who grew up in the 40s, in America, they had that fear, the same fear that people had in Europe that was realized. And so I've seen it. It's mostly in older Eastern European Jewish women in America, the ones that are in my life, and they're scared. They're really scared. And as shitty as Trump is, I don't think that this kind of violence is anything that he wanted. When he was not the president and just a rich asshole, the crew he ran in New York, I would probably say 95% Jewish. Yeah. If you're in entertainment, if you're, a big money guy in New York, you might not be Jewish, but you're culturally Jewish because all your friends are, and you care for those people and their families. And I think him trying to go to the funeral with his Jewish family was an effort to, empathize with what the town's going through. But I know the mayor couldn't deal with that, hates him too much for other things, which I completely understand. But and not to lessen any of the shit that he's doing. He is destroying our country. He's turning us against each other. But I don't think anti-Semitism and the racism was something that was really on that agenda. I think it might have been a slight tactic to win an election. A few comments here and there at rallies, but he is not calling for Jews to be hurt or exterminated in any way. So yeah, at least there's that. But it doesn't mean that there aren't these extreme people out there. Florida, looking at you. Come on. Your track record is horrible. Just psychopaths coming out of there. Why? Is it so humid? You can't think right? It's insane to me. But yeah, like it's breeding these hate groups that actually believe that they have the ability to decide our country's fate and who's allowed to live here and who's not. The only way that you can ever claim to be able to do that is in the name of inclusivity, not exclusivity. That's where I do think there are more, uh, more good people out there than aren't good people. I also do think that a lot of people who voted for Trump are not racists and bigots because I've met some of them. And yeah, a lot of their reasons for voting for Trump was for money, to keep their money. So they're greedy, not racist. But you never know. Could meet a triple threat out there. If you do, please put a pillow on top of his face while he sleeps. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on in my life and the world. Also would like to share an experience. So from losing my job, I lost my health insurance, but I was able to sign up for Cobra, and Cobra is basically like emergency continuation of the plan that you had for your job. And when I saw the premium price, I cried. It was $600 a month. And while I was working for them, I think I was probably paying $160 a month for pretty good insurance. And I couldn't do it. I was devastated. So it's hard to go uncovered California if you don't have an income. But if you're able to sort of like project, how much you're going to make in that year, I sort of highballed it a little bit, and maybe at the end you'll be able to get a refund. A refund is definitely better than having to pay at the end. Although I've still never really had that problem. So Yeah, I ended up getting with a company called Oscar, and they are a very new online healthcare company, but their customer service is incredible. The woman on the phone was an expert on Covered California. She told me that because of the income I projected, I should go through Covered California instead of just straight out buying it from Oscar, because I could be available for higher tax breaks. And she just took me through the entire process. She was so cool and very patient. Um, and Oscar seems great. All my drugs covered, all my doctors covered. There's an app with a concierge you can talk to all the time. You can talk to a doctor within 15 minutes just to know if you should be going to a hospital, urgent care, any of that stuff. Um, and just being who I am and having anxiety issues that I've had in the past, if anyone's ever interested, I can totally get into my journey with that too. But long story short, I'm someone that needs to be a little bit medicated and I need therapy, and occasionally need um, neuro doctors, neurologists. So it's best for me to have full coverage, and this has enabled me to do that. I mean, yeah, I don't really want to be paying more money than I was paying at my job, but I had the insurance because I was giving them my services, so I get it. But I'm happy to have some coverage now and not, and be paying $300 less than I would be with Cobra. Highly recommend Oscar Healthcare. Get it anyway. Yeah, and with that, I'm just gonna go on another day of applying to jobs and hoping someone will give me an interview. All right. Thanks, guys.